All right, so I'm going to have to be a little quiet on this one because I'm starting to lose my voice, which might be good in the long run, that it will help me do some more reading, which I would love. But yeah. What I'm going to do today, it should still be fun. Still have my earbud in. I'm just going to go through the Dramatis Personae. Now, I've read through subbook 1 of Midnight Tides, and I have some thoughts about that I'm sure I'll just get through as we go on. But I have some thoughts on some of these characters, and I have some predictions. Now, I was going to just go through each of these scenes as I've done in some of these other videos, just scene by scene, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Because it's just going to be too much, and I think especially if you've read it, you won't need that. Now, I like doing that. I do like doing that, but I'm just too far ahead to where it's just not going to have the same excitement now that I'm further along. So, yeah, but I'm still excited for the book. All right. Now, I mentioned in this video before, the update video, that it feels a little bit more kind of, there's something that resonates more. And it might be that it just is more familiar, this book, than the other 4 books. There's something that when we're in a city and we see city things, even though this is like the weirdest flippin' city ever, it just has that more kind of excited, kind of active feel to it. So in that way, it felt like something that was not so foreign. A lot of what we've gotten before are people kind of walking between towns and you know, a lot of weird stuff happening. I like that we finally have some family dynamics, which is awesome. I'm kind of obsessed with this family, or both these families. I don't know which family I like more, the Sengar family or the Bedict. Are they the Bedict? Yeah, that's right. I don't know which family I like more and what's going to happen with either of them, but I'm excited. Okay, so I have read the first few scenes of chapter 6, which is in subbook 2. So if it kind of bleeds over a little bit, you know, you're going to have to just forgive me. But I really liked that, the first 2 scenes in that chapter. Okay, so first I'm going to go through the Tist Edur. We have Tomad, the father, and Uruth, the mother of these 4 sons, and Fear, Trull, Binidus, and Rulad. And then there's Mayan, who is kind of betrothed or engaged to Fear. And I like that a part of their kind of customs is that the one getting married into the family, I think, stays for a year within the household, with her at the end of the other table. I don't know if that's part of it. That's kind of their customary thing. Sitting between the one she's going to marry and her mother-in-law, which I think, wow, that I know for a lot of people that engagement would not last. So I'm looking forward to more of that, to be honest. Okay, we have Fear, who is this weapons master. I think, totally probably the favorite of the mother, if I had to guess. Even though they have her little baby boy. I know in my family, I'm actually the last of 8. And yes, I'm my mother's baby boy, but, she also has the oldest son, which there's kind of a special connection there, I think, probably too. And I think Uruth probably has this with Fear. And I'm guessing that Fear is not going to be our main hero in this story. He might be, but I don't think he's going to have a lot good happen with him. Right? I don't know. We have Trull, which, of course, I love Trull, and I think I want him to have some some big powerful. I want him to be on the first throne. That's what I want. And a lot of this story in subbook 1, and again, this is going to go to chapter 6. I'm sorry, but a lot of this is waiting for what's going to happen when this empire, this first empire, gets reborn. Is it going to be from the Lethari perspective, since they are kind of offshoots of this world? Is it going to be the Edur? I mean, I would think if it was Troll, now he's been forgotten by the Edur. He's not really affiliated with them. If it's the Edur, is it Hanan Mosag, or this warlord guy? Maybe, or yeah, I don't know. We have Benedus, the third son, which is interesting. He's the one that's friends with Hull. Really like that. And then we have this Rulad, which is kind of he's the one that I don't understand, because he's kind of flirting around with his oldest brother's engaged, his partner here. He's kind of a little bit of a loose cannon, I think. I think if anyone of those 4 sons turned to do something that we really were upset with, it's got to be that kid, the youngest, and I'm the youngest. So I understand those games. Going to keep my eye on that guy. Let's see. We have Hanan Mosag. We have Theradas Boone and Matic, who are these 2 others that are going to be going with them on this thing to get the spear from the ice fields. Oh, man, those ice fields are so cool. I will get to that. Then we have Bidar, Rethel. Okay, other people I don't understand. Okay, now we go to the Lethari slaves among the Tista. I know I'm showing you it as if you're going to read it, but these 4 down here. Okay, we have Unidus. Did I do all right there? And he's got a very interesting role. Now he's this slave this Lethari slave who's a slave to the Sengar family, and he has this what's the name of those stinking, man, I'm probably not going to find it I don't want to make you wait either. You know what I mean. He has this blood in him, or he's been marked, and now he's following this path of that. And he is the one who's having these dreams, and this one dream that he just had that's blowing my mind. He goes into the ice field, and it's like as he's going down further, I might have read this wrong. I think I got it right. But as he's going down, he's seeing things further and further back, I think. And it's interesting because it's not like everyone's just dead in here. It's like they've been flash frozen mid-jump and stuff. And as they're eating something, or mid-battle, or just standing there, it's like they've been flash frozen, flooded, iced, and then it's just okay. And now, just watching this after doing the editing, I would be remiss if I forgot the central part of that scene, where at the bottom there are these jagged all around, and it's like this forkral assail, I think, this tall, many-limbed, kind of multi-limbed on one arm, you know what I mean, multi-jointed thing, which I think is a forkral assail, is just standing there as if it's been frozen in time. And Troll kind of moves through this ice, and as he gets closer, the ground that they are on is burning cold, and that's when he gets this stuff on him that stays with him, almost implying that this wasn't totally a dream. This is something kind of like what the Maiba was going through, right? Something sort of like that, where it's real but not real. I don't know. And he goes around and he sees the hole in the head, which I assume is the brain of the forkless sail. Sounds a lot like what Corbel Broach is doing, but I think it's, it sounds like there's this tunnel all the way down there, all through the ice, which that would be freaking awesome. That sounds like Corbel Broach and Beauchelane. Now that I'm thinking of the head being split, now I'm thinking of when they go down into the stone bowl and they find Scabandari Bloodeye, and he's got a crack in his head too, as if something maybe has been taken. So, can't laugh and lie past me. Just saying. And also, I'm going to bring up Shirk. And I also forgot to talk about that little freaky kid who's killing people, who killed someone who was following Bryce up to the meeting, and is killing all these people at the Azath house and is like feeding people to the Azath house or something like that. Terrified of these 5 Tobakai that are buried there, that if they stop eating or whatever, these things will rise up and like, what the heck? Something huge is about to happen. And that seems like the first empire actually rising out of the ice from that point. Anyway, I'll try to slot this in, and hopefully it won't be too jarring for you as I go back to the ice fields. They're frozen in time, right? So very cool. This Feather Witch, I don't know what to think of her yet, so I'm just going to gloss on. But this Unidas, I have no idea what his role is going to be in this, other than is he just going to be the eyes through which we see a lot of what's happening? I have no idea, but I love what I'm seeing through him. Okay, so let's go to the Lethari. Now, I think I can do this relatively quickly. Let's see. We have the king. We have Janelle, the queen, which it seems like the queen is the one that wants to kind of call the shots. Her and her son, it reminds me of Agrippa and or Agrippina. Agrippina, right? The mother of Caligula, I believe. I always get those ones backwards, but she's this lady who seems to be calling the shots. And if anything, I think that the way this usually goes, the way that this seems to sometimes go, is sometimes she gets to power for a while, but then obviously she gets what's coming to her, and sometimes gets what's coming to her through her son, who she's been, the little prince who she's been manipulating. I can't remember if that happened in. I won't mention that just in case it would be a spoiler in another series, but I'm guessing something like that. And I feel like she's the one pulling the strings for Baruch, but I don't know. But she wants this war between the Lethari and the Edur, right? Because she wants to kind of pick up the pieces and maybe have her son on the throne. I don't know. Some of this goes by really quick. We have Unal. Okay, Quillis is the prince. We have Unal Hebaz, Prida, who is kind of the boss of Bryce, the first of these 3 brothers. Now, this is the brother. I can't decide. I really like, I'm going to just, I like T-Hole. Okay? Switching to T-Hole because when I did the other one, I started getting closed captioned or whatever, which is kind of hilarious. But I don't want to have to go past every time and do a bleep, even though I think it would be funny. But just know that when I say T-hole, we really know who we're talking about. But I'm still going with T-hole. I don't know which one I think is more interesting. Obviously, T-hole's the eccentric, but Bryce seems like I think he's going to be noble this whole way. He's the one that I feel like I could trust the most out of the three brothers. It seems like Hull, a lot like his dad, but maybe a little bit too something. I don't know. And then Bryce is like the dad, but kind of more the best virtues, the more kind of, I don't know if you call them conservative virtues, because he's just, he just, I don't know. And I don't mean conservative in politics. I mean, just, yeah. Maybe more stoic. Maybe more of the stoic virtues. Okay. Then we have, and also through him, we get to see a lot of kind of what goes on. He connects us with T-hole. He connects us with a lot of kind of the mortar in between all these different bricks of things that are happening, which I really like. We have Morok, who is the bodyguard of the prince, who seems awesome. We have Sita, which I think this Sita is quickly turning out to be my favorite character in this book, at least. I'm getting some Dooker vibes. Not that he is like Dooker, but he kind of seems to be playing some of the same role as this Dooker guy. In that we see a lot of what's happening through his eyes. I love the thing where he's basically blind. And I've already mentioned a bunch of times that I love this idea of like eyes to see or look away to see. And he's the one that I think we're going to see what's happening. We've had that through, Quick Ben, but Quick Ben's not around. So we need someone else. We've seen that through Kruppa. We've seen that a little bit through, Hiboric, and we needed a person like that. And I think we're going to get Sita, and I flippin' love the first scene of the subbook 2. I'm going to have to talk about it. So forgive me if you're not there, but I have to talk about this first scene, and I don't think I will give details, but you know how we have this scene with the Tist Edur, where Hanan Mosag has brought all these Edur, and then he called on these wraiths or whatever, and then he calls on this big kind of demon-y thing to take away these boats and destroy them, and everyone's screaming and da-da-da-da-da. And I think the first scene in Subbook 2 is on the other end of that, right? Seeing it from the other side and seeing as these boats just get pulled into the harbor and just basically dumped in on dry land. Everyone's dead. It's just this massive statement. And everyone's like, ooh, what is this? Is this... everyone's scared of sea monsters, which is one of the things I am actually most obsessed with. Leviathan, people obsessed with. That's why I like Moby Dick. The Kraken, everyone, the Carthage would freak the crap out of everyone, and everyone was kind of already scared of the Mediterranean, but beyond the Straits of Gibraltar, that's where you get the scary sea monsters that will bring your boat down. And people didn't know what lurked beneath there, and even now it's like, what the heck is down there, because it's a mystery. We have the world serpent. Doesn't the world serpent kind of reside in water in Viking lore? I can't remember, but anyway, Sita, since he is at this town when these 3 ships get brought in and dropped, and he's like, everyone's like, what is this? What is this? Was it this? And this guy who needs glasses, who I think is going to be the one who sees better than others, says, I've seen enough. I've seen enough. That is, I just almost jumped out of my chair. First it says, Sita Kurokan watched, and I've been writing eyes in the corner of the book whenever there's something about watching, because it seems like that's a theme. And then the last of that first scene is, but Kurokan had seen enough. I love the first scenes in these subbooks. The first one was about this giant and his seeing and his sight, and then now we have Sita who's seen enough. And if you haven't got to that scene and the next part, I won't give away what they start to feel this Hanan actually summoned, but it's awesome. It's awesome because we knew that it probably wasn't this shadow, but that it was probably something else. And man, I hope that's the case, because it sounds like, now I have to say this, as you know, this wouldn't be giving it away, but this is a thought I had in the start of the 6th chapter. It sounds like a big part of this series is not so much mortals working with gods to fight other, to take over and pillage and whatever, but it's almost like mortals wielding these gods or these ascendants. It's almost like them being, even though they're much more powerful, it's like they are chained. And I mean, we've already seen that, and that's not a new thought, but it just kind of dawned on me really what that means for this series. And it sounds like this Hannah and Mosag is one of the first real big examples of that, or one of the big obvious examples of that happening, which is flippin' awesome, right? I'm sorry, this book has been awesome. Okay, I gotta go past Sita, but we're gonna get back to him. I'm gonna stop on him, like probably for most of his scenes, because I just love him. We have the first consort. We have the first eunuch, which at first I thought, well, this guy's not good. I mean, I don't associate those two things that way, but at first I wasn't sure, and it sounds like he's maybe on the good side, but I don't know. We have Garen Ebrecht, who's definitely evil, definitely someone we don't like. It sounds like this thing with T-Hole, which we'll get to them. He's going to want to go after T-Hole, while T-Hole's wanting to go after him, because this Garen is becoming filthy rich. He's this greatest example of that. He's exempt, and then he's going to be a major threat. Obviously, he's going to be a major threat. Triben Gnol. I don't know if I know him, and this next guy. Okay, Buruk the Pale. I'm a little indifferent about him, other than I think he's just kind of this drunk, maybe a little bit of a loose cannon, doing kind of what he says or what he's told to do, but maybe not being maybe not having much of a spine himself. That's kind of what I picture, but I don't know. Being forced to do things by the queen, has instructions from the queen, right? Then we have Saren Pedek, which I know I'm going to end up thinking she's interesting, but so far I don't so much. Hulbedict, I'm intrigued by him, but again, I don't really trust that guy. I think I like him, but I don't know. And I don't mean I don't trust him, and I don't think he would have good intentions, but that I think he's not. Wrong time, wrong place, kind of meathead, but that's just what I think. He's no T-Hole. So I'm excited by him, but he's got a grudge, even though, I'm looking forward to him. Let's see. Nakal Bara. Who was she? Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Nakal Bara. I know this. I know I should know who she is. I'm sorry, guys. Dang it. Maybe she's not the one I'm thinking, though. I might put in the description or in the comments if I suddenly remember who she is in the end. But we got to keep going. We have T-Hole Bedek, who's probably the most interesting character in some ways that we've had in the series so far. At least right from the start, we think he's interesting. There's been tons of interesting characters, but he's intriguing right from the get-go. I can't think of many characters that we've had like that. Tool had the greatest entrance. Cripple God had a pretty awesome entrance to his kind of to him being finally in the series. Trying to think anyone else. Those are the big ones. I mean, for introductions. A lot of these people I just don't really care for at the start. They just seem so mundane. And I think that's kind of neat. But then they just explode and become so interesting. But this T-Hole guy, I think I have to talk again. Oh, no, I won't talk about it. I will for the next one. But it's this first scene with him when they're finally doing some stuff about this eternal domain or eternal resting place. That five-speared kind of building. And they're finally working on that. And we see like this Ormley guy who I can't talk about yet. This rat catcher. Man, I just love that. Okay. We have Heejin, Rissar, Shand. Actually with T-Hole. T-Hole. I don't know where he's going to go with all this. I can't imagine him leaving Troll there for some reason. Or no, I'm thinking of the wrong guy. I can't imagine. Yeah, we have this T-Hore. And I just can't imagine him. I just think he's good. I think him and Bug are good. And I think they'll be on the right side of things by the end. I don't think about that for the last of the Sengar boys. And, but, going back to the Sengar as well, I just can't imagine them leaving Troll at the start of House of Chains. I can't imagine that these are the guys that are going to do that. And I can imagine maybe the youngest son because he's just such a douche. But I don't know. Okay, let's go through this. We have Beery, who's kind of like the front man sort of thing in this other thing. We have Bug. Bug, man, there's lots to talk about with Bug, but I'm going to wait. Because I want to talk about him a lot in the next thing. But I do want to talk about, first we have Ublala in this awesome scene. This awesome scene with Bryce watching, and T-Hole on the other side. And I love that the punishment fitting the crime among the Letheri has to do with them having to load up how much gold their crime was worth and just swim across to the other side. And this guy, this Ublala's crimes are so much that there's no chance, but he uses it to weigh him down and he just walks across. And because he does that, can't charge him. He's paid his penalty. So he swam across, and but now he's one of these malcontents that T-Hole is paying super low wages and are going to try to fix this place. But Ublala's so interesting. And then we have the star of the show, I mean, when I tell you my mind is going a mile a minute in what funny video to do about Shirk, um, you know, I just can't stop thinking about this gal who every time she laughs, this water comes up and she has this issue that she has. And now I'm thinking, how the heck is T-Hole going to fix this part of what he's agreed to do? He said, yeah, I'll do it. I can fix that. And now who's going to be on the job for that? And that's where I I have some ideas. So we have the rest of these people who are in Letharis, which I'm so excited to get to meet. I'm very happy that I can look down this list of people and I feel like I know most of them, and I feel like I know kind of where they're at. So I haven't felt that. Every sub-book too is like, here's a new bunch of people. I feel like I can kind of breathe a bit of a sigh of relief that I'm going to be dealing with the same people. When I got to chapter 6 and saw Troll's name early on, I thought, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness we're not on some other crazy place somewhere. Okay, let's just finish this. We have Withel making a sword, and I want to know, what are the properties of this sword? What the heck is it? Is this sword already doing things? It's got to be worse than Dragnapur. It's got to be like Dragnapur on steroids, but who knows? I feel bad for. I wonder if we're gonna meet this Withel, and he's going to be an interesting character. I thought Munug was going to be interesting in Memories of Ice, and we barely got him. I was so looking forward to getting more of him later on, so I hope he's still kicking around in the series. But maybe he was just used for one thing and kicked to the side. So, I mean, he left him on his way with broken legs, which is a poetic way of, this is what happens in exchange for when you help the crippled god. Yeah, man. This series is so flippin' amazing. Okay, so we have Rind, and okay, I don't know these people. Gothos has been mentioned. We have Silchus Ruin, and we have Scabandari Bloodeye. Now, at first, it was as if Scabandari Bloodeye, the Edur, turned and stabbed Ruin. But now it's seeming maybe the other way around, because they call Ruin the betrayer, but obviously that's from their point of view, and he's the one walking around. So I wonder, is this Father Shadow, this Scabandari Bloodeye, someone we're going to end up liking because we got something wrong on him, about him? So I'm starting to lean that way. At the start of this, I thought, oh, this is a bad dude. And maybe I'm still going to think that by the end. But now I'm thinking, oh, well, the guy with the last name Ruin, he's probably your... It's got to be that guy, right? Okay. We have Gothos, which I'm dying to know more about him since the first book, where you have this Gothos' Folly, or all these epigraphs about that he had written. I think it was in that one or in the second book, or both. But you have no idea. I'm honest when I say there are just so many things I want to know and have their loose ends tied. It's not like 3 things. It's not like I have 4 main characters. It's not like I have Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and I just want to see them like live at the end. It's not just the ring being tossed into the flame. It's not just I don't want to give more examples, but it's not just those simple things. There's like a million things that I am invested in, which makes this so awesome and makes me so excited that there's more. At first I thought, oh, I don't want to get into a big 10-book series because that's just, you know, I don't want to, you know, that's going to take forever. But when you're invested in it, it's like, this is going to be my Grey's Anatomy, right? Don't they have like 20 bajillion seasons? There's just so many things that I want to know. And I'm so excited to get to E.N.C. Esselmont's, I can't remember. Dang it. But I'm excited to get to all these other ones. And I may be missing some stuff, but as far as the theme, man, going back to Shirk. No, I better not. Okay. Just, if you want to know more, if you want to talk about Shirk, come over to the Discord. The Discord has already been a place where I've had a bunch of laughs already, just interacting. I have on the Discord, it's on Matt's Fantasy Book Review. I think I got that right. He's sent me a little, he's set up a little kind of corner for me. And I have a few things. I have Midnight Tides Talk, where as I'm going through the book, I'll go there sometimes and post something, and then people will talk. And I love that, because even though I like doing this, I would rather talk to people about it, and not as like I'm the content creator that's bringing us together to do this in a place, but that's where it's like I can just be one of the rest of us, and then we can all have jokes and a good time talking about it and whatever, even though people are following my journey publicly along. Does that make sense? So come out if you'd like that. I also have a general chat for people who are catching up, because if you're on the Midnight Tides one, and there's a lot of people just starting, or they're on Dead House Gates, or or one of them going through, we know right now, is on Memories of Ice. And I want those people to feel like they can hang out there too. So come join there. I also have a Laughin' and Lion Midnight Tides area, which I'm not going to go to that until the end of Midnight Tides, because I know I'm saying a bunch of stuff that's totally wrong or is totally right. And there are some reactions for you guys there too, but I'm not going to go look at that. But that's just for you to have until the end of Midnight Tides. Then I'll go look. And I also have a Laughin' and Lion series area, which I will not go to that until the end of The Crippled God. Okay, so you can talk there about all this stuff, and I won't go there, so you don't have to kind of hide things in the YouTube comments. So anyway, flipping excited about this series. I can't believe we're on the 5th one already. And I know we could have read through this, but I think we're doing this the right way. So I will talk to you soon. And I'm glad my voice didn't totally give out. But man, so excited. And I am also reading The Way of a Dan at the same time. I know it goes, reading Malazan, someone with 30 books or whatever, or a series, and then reading a debut novel. But Philip is big part of the Malazan world, so I'm going to give it a shot. And I liked the first chapter. I liked the prologue in the first chapter. And so if you want to also read along with that, or just listen to the first couple episodes to see if it sounds like something interesting, then come on over there. So I'll talk to you soon.